Hi students, in yesterday's class we have discussed about flavors of Python, and also we have discussed about important features of Python. So yesterday we have discussed about this what is this C Python. So yesterday we have discussed about C Python, J Python, then Iron Python, Ruby Python. Then we have discussed about Py. Then Ruby Python we have discussed, and also we have discussed about Anaconda Python and Stackless Python. All these yesterday we have discussed. So in all these default is C Python. So C Python is default and mostly used, and it is default and most widely used implementation of the language. And we have seen what is the use of other flavors of Python also. And after that, we have discussed about features of Python. So we have discussed about easy to learn and use, and expressive language, and cross-platform language we have discussed, and I've told about free, open source, and redistribution, and object-oriented programming, and memory management. So in memory management, we have discussed like C, C++, Java, .NET are called strongly typed languages because we are going to use data types in the program, and those data types are called as static data types, and Python data types will call them as Python data types will call them as dynamic data types. Okay, so Python is called as a loosely typed language because we are not going to use data types in the program. So programmer will not use data types. Program will use data types in the program, or Python will assign data types to the variables. So Python data types are called as dynamic data types because data types are assigned to the variables when the program is executed, or when the statements are executed. Yesterday we saw examples also, like how this is being executed. And students, today we are going to focus on like a Python installation, and then we are going to discuss about the interactive mode, batch mode, then how to write program in ideally. So we'll see how to use other editors like other IDs, PyCharm, Jupyter, then Spider, many are there. So I'm going to give examples in all this, how to write and execute. And after that, in today's class, we are going to discuss how to run the program at command prompt. All these we'll discuss. In tomorrow's session, we are going to discuss about Python keywords and Python data types, like fundamental data types. So we'll see how they'll work. Then how to assign values to the variables. All these we are going to discuss. So now we'll see the installation today. So in my system, Python is already installed. So I will uninstall it, and I will install the new version. Python 3.10.5 is there. So that I'm going to install here. So in my system, this Python is installed in D drive here. So this is the Python folder, or we can say Python current working directory, this one. So Python 3.10.32 is there. So this is the folder here. So Python 3.10.32 means 3.10.4. Okay, 32-bit is there. Yesterday I've told. So in Python, two softwares are there. 32-bit software is there. 64-bit software is there. So in my system, I'm using 32-bit Python. I'm using Windows is 64-bit only. Windows I'm using 64-bit. So now here to uninstall this. So here I'm typing add or remove programs. In control panel, add or remove programs is there. So I'm using that here. And in add or remove programs, here we can see the, here you can see Python software here. Here you can see Python 3.10.4 32-bit it is giving here. This is the software I'm using uninstall here. Clicking on uninstall, because in your system if old version is there you can uninstall like this and you can install new version. You can keep multiple versions in the system. But like using multiple versions in a single system is waste only. Okay, that's why uninstall and installation I'm doing here. So after uninstallation, so here you can see this. So this folder is there here still. Why? Because is in this folder I have stored some files, like some programs I have stored in this, saved in this. So that's why it is not deleted. So when we do uninstall, this folder should be deleted. But here, here I've saved some programs here. That's why it is not being deleted. So here, if it is not deleted, if some files are left, then we can delete this physically. So I'm using shift delete, because when we write the programs, then by default they are saved in this folder. Like if it is not deleted physically, we can delete like this. So here I'll give python.org and click on, don't directly click on this button, because this will install 64-bit Python. So if you want to choose 32-bit or 64-bit, click on downloads. In downloads, here it is giving this button. Without clicking on this button, here you can see the list here. So Python 3.10.4, 3.10.5 is there. So I'm selecting this latest version. So here when you see this here, it is showing like what all new features are there in Python 3.10. Like here you can see better error messages, parenthesized context managers, a better typing syntax, better debugging, structural matching, pattern matching. Structural matching, pattern matching means match case. Match case means like in other languages we'll see switch case. Like that it is there here. Switch case is there here. So all these we are going to discuss. As I said in previous sessions, like here we are going to discuss about here we'll discuss about this 3.7 features, 3.8 features, 3.9, 3.10. All these features, what all concepts are introduced, all these we'll see one by one, like in last classes. After completing core Python and advanced Python, so we are going to see all the features one by one. We are going to discuss. Now here in this page, here you can see files it is giving, and here you can see here Windows installer 32-bit, 64-bit. So 64-bit is recommended. We can use it. So I'm selecting 32-bit here. So here it is downloading the exe file here. So here you can see Python 3.10.5 is given. So it is downloading the exe file here, and here you can see this. So now move to downloads folder. So here in downloads folder, you can see this exe file here. Like application means exe file. So we should double click on this. So here you can see Python 3.10.5 32-bit it is giving, and here you can see install now. It is giving some path for where to install. In C drive it is giving. Like all these are folders here: user, Dell, app data, local programs, Python, all this, and it will install ideally pip documentation. Then it will create shortcuts, file associations, all this. So if you want to go with customized installation, if you want to change the path where to install Python, and if you want to select options, then we can select customize. Now I'm clicking on customize selection, and here it will install documentation. So documentation means help it will install. It will install pip. So pip is going. It is going to install here. So pip is used to install, download and install Python packages developed by Python community. So for installing Python packages, pip is used. And here you can see TCL, TK, and IDLE is there. So here it will install TCL, TK. That is, it will install tkinter module. It is used to develop Python. It is used to develop desktop applications, GUI or Windows applications. And here you can see IDLE is there. So IDLE means integrated development learning environment. So when we install Python, we'll get IDLE editor. So many editors are there. We are not going to use them. Okay. So here ideally it will comes along with Python, and for writing programs we are going to use this. And here you can see Python test suite is there. Okay. So here you can see Python libraries are there here. Like we can say framework, PyTest is there, Splinter is there. So it will install all those. And here you can see PyLauncher is there here. So PyLauncher, it is used to execute Python commands. So to run Python commands, this is used. And for all users is selected next. And here you can see associate files with Python is selected here. Like if you want to install the related files, then this is selected. And here you can see create a shortcut for installed applications. For installed apps, if you want to create shortcut here, then this is used here. So like for ideally for documentation, for interactive mode, like shortcuts are created. And here you can say add a Python path to environment variables. So when we add a Python path to environment variables, what all exe files are there, then all the exe files works from any location. Or we can say that we can install Python packages from any location, and we can install we can execute Python programs from any location that we can do it. Okay, so that's why we are selecting this. See, when students attend core Java, like in that case, what they'll do is they will in that case they will faculties will teach how to add a path and how to add a class path. Okay, so here also we are adding Python path to environment variables. In environment variables, we can see all the software's path will be there, like what all we install at the time of installation, path is given there. Okay, and here pre-compiled standard libraries, pre-compiled functions, debugging symbols, all these are there. They are not required. And here I am deleting the folders here. All these are not necessary, we can delete them. And here I'm deleting the drive, and I'm giving D drive here instead of C drive. Here I'm giving D drive here, so we can keep only one folder, no need to maintain many folders. Okay, so here you can see D drive, D colon backslash Python 31032. Even this folder also we can change, we can rename this folder. But to know what folders we are using. Okay, what version we are using, like what bit we are using, like to understand these so to understand these we are using this folder name we are using. Okay, so 310 Python 310 means 3.10.5 latest version. Okay, and 32 means 32-bit we are using. If you are using 64, then it will not show 310 hyphen 64, it will not give. It will show only Python 310. It will not give 64. For 32, it will give like this. So install. So here installation is completed here. So close. After installation is over, so here two icons should be created on the desktop. So I'm deleting the icons which are already there. Previous version icons, I'm deleting them. So here, after installing Python, we'll not get icons on the desktop because every day we have to work with Python. So after installation is over, here in search I'm typing here ideally. So when I type ideally in search, it is giving like this. So right click on this, open file location. So in with open file location, here you can see, here you can see the shortcuts here. So here you can see in sub folders it is there. Here you can see C drive, users, Dell, app data, roaming, Microsoft, Windows, then start menu, programs, Python 310. So in some location shortcuts are created, but we want this on the desktop. So here right click on this. This is interactive mode. So right click on interactive mode on this shortcut, send to desktop create shortcut. Click on this and here right click on ideally, then send to desktop create shortcut. So two icons we are using here. I'm closing this. So here you can see two icons you can see here, interactive mode and batch mode is there. Okay. So as I said before, if you work with interactive mode, it is used to execute the statements immediately and then it gives a result. So to check the features of Python, how the Python modules are working or Python files are working, how the functions are working. So to check, then interactive mode is used here. So here I'll use, I'm doing double click on interactive mode on this icon. So here it is giving the window like this. Here I'm increasing the font size. Click on control box, this icon. Click on this control box, then properties. So here I'm increasing the font size here. And now here we can execute the statements. Here I'll use like this, s equal to Hyderabad is given. So s is the variable, Hyderabad is the value or string we are using. So we can use single quotes or double quotations also we can use while giving characters. And here if I give like this, then here I'll say yes. If I use only yes, it is giving in single quotes. Like here I'll say print s. So when I use a print s, then it will show only the value without a single quotes. It will show the value here. Okay, like this will get. And if I want to know what is the data type assigned to the variable, then we are using a type function. Type of s we are using. It is showing as class str. It is giving. So as I said in the beginning, and also yesterday we have discussed. So other languages like C, C++, Java, .NET are called strongly typed languages because we are going to use the data types in the program. So when we use the data types in the program and when we give variables to the data types, then memory is allocated, values are stored, all this happens. Okay, but in Python, we are not going to use data types. As I said before, so Python is called as a loosely typed language. So we are not going to use data types while writing the program. Data types are not used. So data types are used by the program or Python will assign data types to the variables at runtime. That's why Python data types are called dynamic data types. So other languages data types are called static data types because data types are assigned to the variables in other languages at compilation time. And here when the program is executed or when the statements are executed, data types are assigned to the variables. Okay, so here we are seeing here type of S means a type is the function name that we are using. So it is showing that S variable S data type is class str. It is class str. It is giving here. Okay, so in Python, what all data types are there? Like fundamental data types and collection data types. So about data types we haven't discussed. Like in tomorrow's class we are going to discuss about collection uh, fundamental data types, and in next classes we'll discuss about collection data types also. Okay, so in Python, what all data types are there? All the data types are created using a class. Okay, so in C language, if you take C language, in C language also we can see the data types. Okay, like 14 data types are there, and they are created using structures are there, structures, unions, like they are created using structures and unions. Okay, but here in object oriented programming languages, so data types are created using a class. In object oriented programming, so when we say class, class contains variables and functions. So variables are used to store values and functions are used to perform operations like accepting the values, displaying the values, doing calculations, all this. So if there is a class, if class is created, let us say if there is a class or if class is created, using a class we can create object can be created. So object we can call it as a class variable, or we can call it as an instance of the class. Instance means copy of the class. Okay, and object contains the memory address or memory location of the class, or we can say that object and class both are same, and object will always refers to the class. So but in a beginning classes I'm just telling the definition, like what is a class, what is an object. So in advanced Python we are having a chapter, object oriented programming chapter. In that we'll see how to create a class, how to create object, and we'll discuss about OOPS concepts like encapsulation, then inheritance, polymorphism, abstraction, and we'll discuss about static, and we'll discuss about function overloading, and we'll discuss about all types of inheritances: single inheritance, multiple inheritance, multi-level inheritance, hierarchical inheritance, hybrid inheritance, all. And then we'll discuss about constructors, then operator overloading, then destructors. Like all these are there, like abstract classes, many concepts are there. So about object oriented programming we are going to discuss in detail, because when you learn object oriented programming you should do projects on that. Okay, so that's why we are going to discuss in detail about object oriented programming. So those who don't have idea about object oriented programming, no need to worry, because based on the examples what we see, we'll see many examples. So then you can easily understand why object oriented programming is used in real time, then how it is going to work, all these we'll see. Okay, so now here I'll say like this: a equal to 10, b equal to 5, c equal to a plus b is given. So even when we write programs also will not use data types. Data types are assigned internally to the variables. So here I'll say print c. So directly I can use a print c I can use, or else I can use print function. If I want to know the data type of a or b or c, then I can use type of a. Then it is showing as a class integer. Okay, so here we can see value type data types, reference type data types. All these are there. Like I will tell in detail about all these in the next session, so not now. And here I'll say b equal to, or d equal to 1 to 1 2.3 is given, float value. So here I'll say type of D I'm giving. So it is showing as a class float like this. So data types are assigned internally here, and here when we are typing like this, then this is only to check the statements, like to see what is the output, and whether they are working properly or not. To check, we are giving like this. Okay, so if I close this window or if I clear the screen, then these are not saved anywhere. These are not saved anywhere, and here I'm using like this. So I import OS I'm using, then os dot system cls is given. So here I'm typing import. Import is the keyword. So in Python we can see many keywords which are used in programming. Like here 35 keywords are there. So while doing programming, while writing programs in core Python, advanced Python, so we are going to use keywords. Import is the keyword. Okay. OS is the module. So Python has many modules. So many modules. Module is nothing but a Python file or Python program. So module can have variables, functions, properties, classes, like what I said now about a class. All these will be there. And here you can see system is there. System is the function in OS module. It is the function, and CLS is the argument we are giving here, argument or parameter. So in functions within brackets we'll give arguments, and here you can see OS dot is given here. So dot represents here dot represents member access operator, like full stop we are using. No, it is called as a member access operator. It is used to access the members in the class, members in the module. Okay, like this we are giving. So now execute. So here the screen is cleared here. So if the screen is cleared again, if I want to get the statements back, then it is not possible. Or if I click on close button, okay, again if I open it, what all statements are given, they are not there here, or they are not saved in any file also. Only interactive console or interactive mode is used only to execute the statements. So we can use this. So now here you can see ideal is there here. So as I said before, ideally means integrated development learning environment. So in Python, if you want to write programs here, when you write programs in like any editor or else in any IDE, then the program is saved with extension as .py. Python file extension is .py, it is saved. So to write the Python programs, we can use editors like Notepad, Notepad++, Edit Plus, Nano, Gedit, ideally all these are there. And we can use a different IDEs also. Integrated development learning environment, we can use PyCharm, then Eclipse, NetBeans. So Java people will use these two, Eclipse and NetBeans. We can use it for Python also. And here you can see Atom, then Sublime Text. So for Django classes, I will use Sublime IDE I'm going to use for Django classes. And here we have like Jupyter is there, Spider is there. Okay, so I'm going to use ideally, but here I'll execute programs in PyCharm. I'll show you one or two examples, and I will execute programs in Spider, in Jupyter, in all those IDEs. I'm going to execute the Python programs. So if you are already using PyCharm, you can continue with that. PyCharm you can install. Okay, like Spider or Jupyter you can install and you can use it. Okay, but I'm going to work with ideally, because ideally comes with along with Python software. So we need to install separately this PyCharm, Jupyter, Spider, then Atom, Sublime, all these we need to install separately. So when we say editors, editors will allow you to work with only one file, or will allow you to work with one program. So but IDs are not like that. You can work with multiple projects, multiple applications. You can work with the different files. Not only with Python file, you can work with HTML files, JavaScript files, CSS files, all this. Okay, so you can work with multiple files. In IDE, I'm telling multiple files, and you can even work with multiple languages also, like Java, Python, like that you can work with. Okay, so here to work with ideally, so here double click on ideally. So here we'll get like this. So ideally works as two in one here. So it works as interactive mode and batch mode. Batch mode means program. So batch means a set of statements. So if you want to write a set of statements like a program, and if you want to execute, ideally is used. So here ideally works as two in one here. So it works as interactive mode and batch mode. We can execute the statements here. So here I'm giving like this. So s equal to Delhi is given, then print s, and here I'll say a equal to 100. So print a. Like this, we can see the values here. So here I'm typing like this: import OS. Import is the keyword. OS is a module, and OS dot system. Then CLS is given. So here when I execute this, it is not clearing the screen. OS.system CLS works only for interactive console. Okay, but in ideally it is not working. So now here if I want to write program, so file new. So here we should not write the statements here. Here I'm just showing you how the statements can be executed. So to write program, file a new file. And now here I'm going to write the statements here. So print hi is given, and here I'm using print s is given here, and a equal to 100, b equal to 200, c equal to a plus b. Then print c is given, and here I'm typing by I'm giving here. So this is the first program. So I'm saying hi statements. Then by I'm giving here. So file save. So when I say file save, it is moving to D drive Python 3.10.32. So it is the Python folder or Python current working directory. So here I'll use file name as a file1. So if I say file1, it is saved as a .py, file1.py. So here you can see file1, it is saved in D drive Python 3.10.32 folder. Python software what we have installed now. So after saving this program file, run module. So whatever program we wrote here, whatever statements we write, so the whatever program we write, it is saved as what module. So file1.py is a program. So that program what we are saying here, we are calling it as a module. So run module. So it is giving output like this. Then hi Mumbai, uh, 300, then by it is giving here. So these are the statements. So here you can see the output here, like this will get. So you can save this in another location also, not in 3.10.32 folder. If you want to save it in some other location, we can save as I'm giving, save as. So here I'll save in F drive. So F drive I'm saving here, file 1 save. So it is saying that in F drive file 1 is there, replacing I'm saying. So here you can see file 1 is saved in F drive. Anywhere you can create and you can run. So it is working here. Okay. So in when you are working with ideally, you can save the program in any location, and from there we can execute. Okay. So in ideally we are writing the program and we are executing the program. So both done in ideally, writing and executing. So now we'll see how to execute the program at like a command prompt. So now we'll see writing program in Notepad. Notepad editor also we can use. Okay, and we'll see how to execute it command prompt. Now I'm using Notepad. So ideally is closed. Now I'm using Notepad. So here I'll say str equal to, and here I'll say print str, and here I'll use a equal to 5000 is given, and the print here. Here some statements are given, and file save. So in D drive, I'll save this file in D drive. I'll give file name as file2.py. So here when we are writing program in Notepad, we have to give the extension here. Extension should be there here. Otherwise, it will save as a .txt. Save. So this is a Python file. After writing the program, what we'll do, we'll click on run module, or we'll execute the program. But here we can see that here run module is not there, or run icon is not there. If those options are there, then I would have clicked on those options. But those options are not available here. After writing the program, after saving the program, we will say, after saving the program, to run the program, it is done at command prompt here. Command prompt. So here D drive, here I'll say file2.py. Like this we can execute. So it is giving output, it is giving, or Python file2.py. Python is a exe file. It is in Python 3.10.32 folder. Or else we can use file launcher we can use. So file2.py. So here in three different ways we can run. We can directly give the file name, or we can use a Python exe file, or py we can use. Py is installed at the time of installation here. Okay. So here cd Python 3.10.32 folder. So here you can see exe file here, python.exe, this one. Okay, so this is working in D drive also. Why? Because is the Python path is given in environment variables in control panel. That's why it is working. Like for example, so here I'm typing env in search option. I will type env. I'll type env, and here you can see environment variables is there. Environment variables. Click on environment variables, and here you can see path, then edit. So here you can see Python 3.10 scripts folder and Python 3.10.32 main folder, and scripts folder is also there, because in scripts folder pip and other exe files will be there. In Python 3.10.32 Python exe file is there, what we saw. Now I'm deleting this. So delete. So deleted. Okay. And okay, I'm giving here. So command prompt and D drive. So here I'll type Python file2.py. Before, when I've executed file2, it is giving answer. Okay, now I'm execute using Python exe file. So it is saying that Python is not recognized. Python exe file is not working now. In D drive or E drive, anywhere it won't work now because that path is not given there. Now closing this. So again I'll type env and environment variables. So in user variables, here I'm selecting this, and here I'm using edit I'm using here, and here Python path is not there, new. So d colon backslash, and here I'll say Python 310 32 again slash I'm giving here. So here I'm adding the path manually. At the time of installation, we have selecting add Python path to environment variables. Okay. So at the time of installation, if you forget to give the path, if you forget to select that option, checkbox, add a Python path to environment variables, then manually you can add like this. So why I'm telling this is at the time of installation, if you forget to select that checkbox, add Python path to environment variables, then exe files will not work from any location. Python exe files. Okay, so then manually we can add like this. No need to uninstall Python, again installing Python. No need to do that. We can give like this. So here, okay. And now here, again command prompt, and now here I'll use D drive, then cd, uh, I'll run the program Python file2.py. So now the exe file is working. So like this we can do it. So students, this is about downloading the software and installation. I have told very clearly. Okay, so you will not have any confusion while doing installation. If old version is there, I've told how to uninstall old version, and I've told how to install new version. I've told how to execute statements in interactive mode, batch mode ideally, and I've told how to run programs at command prompt. Like all these are there. All these we have discussed. So students, I'm stopping now, and tomorrow we are going to continue with Python keywords, data types. So we'll see how the data types will work, how to assign the values. Then we'll discuss about what are the fundamental data types like int, string, float, bool, complex. Many data types are there. So we'll see how they'll work. Then we'll see what is Pascal notation, camel notation, what case we have to use. Like in Python, how it will works. All these we are going to discuss in tomorrow's session. We are going to discuss about all this, and those have already registered, those have already joined for this batch. So today I'm going to send you the previous classes videos, and today's class video I'll send, notes also I'll send to your mail IDs. Okay, and today I'm seeing one or two new students. So if you are interested to continue this batch, so please, when you join for the batch, I will send you the videos from day one, what all we have discussed theory. Today we are seeing installation. In previous classes, I've told lot of theory concepts. They are very important. So I'm going to send all the videos to your mail ID through Google Drive. I'll send. You can watch the videos, and when I send the videos, it will ask for the permission. So it will when you click on that video, then I will receive a request access permission. So I will give permission. Only in the beginning it will ask like that. Like for every class it will not ask. In the beginning when I send it to the group, then it will ask for when you click on it once. So click only one time. Then I will in my mail I will get the request access for permission. Then I'll give permission to watch the videos. Notes you can download, and you can practice. You can work with. Okay, students. Anything to ask? Any doubts? Okay, then I'm signing off. Tomorrow we'll continue.